It's a happy day and we're so busy making some filling over this three particular mud ponds. This makes me realize of the things that we're gonna adjust in order to, prevent more disaster in the future. This is a hybrid farming that we're gonna introduce to our followers and viewers because we're gonna be making a fiberglass tank. So today, let me share with you the step-by-step process on how to, make or fabricate this fiberglass. Hi guys, it's a beautiful day once again and welcome back to Dexter's World channel. It's a happy day and we're so busy here making some filling over this three particular mud ponds that we have here just in front of the house. And I told you that my realization after this flood is to be able to have a controlled environment for our fish. And this is what we are doing now. We're leveling this up. Actually, we filled this with this filling materials in order to level this up. And we're gonna be making this as our facility for our fishes, and we can use also some part of this property for the production of our birds. And right now we are trying to finish this up because we are run short of space. Actually, this place is a good place for our African hito, but during the flood we actually lost some 10,000 heads of this fry of this hito, and when they are about to be transferred to a bigger pond, this flood came. So this is a hybrid farming that we're gonna introduce to our followers and viewers because we're gonna be making a fiberglass tank. I told you about this controlled environment for our fish, which is quite more expensive than maintaining the mud pond, but we can make sure of the maximum harvest because it's a controlled environment and you can just easily make adjustments if there are problems. In every situation, we can always learn lessons. Whether it's a good and bad situations, we can simply learn so many things about our experiences. And I'm so thankful for this flood because this makes me realize of the things that we're gonna adjust in order to, prevent more disaster in the future. So the filling material is actually one of the things that I have considered, and we're doing this now. And in fact, I am so happy that we were able to make some survey of the perimeter of the entire property, and I was shocked that this property is quite big. And I was shocked that this property is quite big. So we are now able to identify the monuments, and I hope that in the future we can of course develop and be able to establish our dream, our goal, which is to have a restaurant of this hito, which we gonna produce in the fiberglass tank. So the mud pan is still good, but we will have to make some adjustments. So today, let me share with you the step-by-step process on how to, make or fabricate this fiberglass. I am so challenged to start from scratch. Actually, when we had a farm before, we started from scratch, and only that the government will use our property, but it doesn't hold me back, and I'm so excited to start anew with these few breeders. Actually, we already have 100 eggs that were collected over this month, and we're gonna be showing you the chicks that we're gonna produce out of it in our coming videos. And let me tell you today that the modern farming nowadays have already resorted to making this fiberglass tanks under the RAS system. And we're gonna be showing to you the mechanics of this. Of course, the first thing that we must do in order to have this kind of tank, the fiberglass tank, is to complete all the materials that are needed. So we have this one, the catalyst, we have the hardener, we have the styrene or this thinner, and then the fiber cloth. These are the things that we needed in order to be able to have a good tank out of fiberglass. And the next thing that you're gonna do if you already have these materials is to be able to fabricate or to make this mold, your pattern. You know that this fiberglass can be done in so many ways, but the thing that I have adapted is to make this pattern out of plywood and this cocoa lumber. And you see that we are so busy now doing this pattern, and we're aiming to make a tank which has a measurement of 4 feet in width by 10 feet in length, and then we have the height of 2 feet. And this is actually our first time to do this, although I already had attended a seminar how to go about this one, but this is my first time to do an actual making of a fiberglass tank. I already have tried this before, doing music box out of a fiberglass, but this time it's quite challenging because this is big, and this requires us to have more layers of this fiber cloth in order to harden or make this concrete to contain the water. My piece of advice to those ones who wanted to also do these things, we have to use the mask and even the gloves, because these are actually very itchy. This fiber mat is really very itchy. I put this fiber cloth on top of our pattern, and this should be carefully done. It's my experience before that I really had this itchiness all over my body because I was not able to use the gloves. I did not learn about this until I experienced this for myself. And the method that we gonna employ here is to make this fiberglass on top, not inside, because there are two things that can be done. We can make this on top, or we can also make this inside the tank or inside the pattern. But I prefer to use this method because it's quite more easier than, you know, adapting the second method, which is doing it inside. Another thing that we must observe in order to become successful in making this fiberglass is to wax or wipe with wax all over your pattern, because if we will not use the wax, this will stick up to the woods or up to the plywood that we cannot even get our fiberglass tank. So our intention here is to lift this. Of course, we expect that when we're gonna lift this one, we're thinking about a square box that we can develop into a beautiful fish tank. I'm so excited to complete this one, and this will be a series of video in order for you to follow this one. Those of you who are fish lovers, fish keepers, fish enthusiasts, this is a good news for you. I will give this for free. I paid a seminar on this. I spent a lot of money just to be able to know about the basics of this, but I'm giving this for free, especially to our avid followers and subscribers. I'd like to mention about the chemicals that we used here. The main chemical that we're gonna use is this one. This is Polyclear, and this is a premix, because there are two types of this kind. We have the ready mix and we have the premix. When you're gonna use with the ready mix, you're gonna be mixing by yourself. I deem it proper to just use the premix, which is very user friendly. Why? Because you don't have to mix up things, but only to use it directly with this catalyst and this hardener. So the ratio is actually 1/4 of this against to 1 gallon. So if we're gonna buy 4 gallons of this Polyclear, we're gonna be buying 1 gallon of this catalyst and 1 gallon of this styrene. This styrene actually is called the thinner. In ordinary paint, we call this the thinner. The mixture, of course, is very important. Why? Because this is 100%. If you're gonna use 1 kilogram of this, then we're gonna be using also at least 100 grams of this catalyst, and of course it depends upon the kind of surface that you're gonna paint with this styrene. But what is important is for us to be able to apply the chemical in a short period of time, especially if the temperature is high. Then we have to do this fast, because if you're gonna mix this with the catalyst, you're gonna only have 10 to 15 seconds before it's gonna dry up. So we have to make this fast, because if you will allow time to pass, maybe 10 minutes or no, less than even 5 minutes, your chemical will be hardened. You cannot anymore use this one. So be sure to consume or to apply the chemical that you have mixed with the catalyst within 1 to 2 minutes. So this is now the result, guys. We have this glass-like material, and this is still very soft because this is just the first layer. I hope that we can harden this up when we're gonna be able to do on the 6th or the 7th layer. And then watch this video because there are other things that we're gonna do, other materials that we're gonna use in order to have a sturdy tank for our fish. So for the meantime, just allow me to invite you to follow on the series of our videos about making this fiberglass so that we can grow together and we can, of course, venture more together in the field of fish farming using this glass tank or fiberglass tank. So these are all the things that we can share. I hope that you will continue to like and share our videos, and if you are not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe so that you will be notified of our future uploads. Only here at Dexter's World.